if one of your goals in life is to maintain a positive feeling state, because positive feelings lead to positive experiences, which attracts more happiness and abundance, and so on and so forth, then you're going to want to watch this video, because I'm going to share with you a psychological tool that is often overlooked, and that is reframing. What do I mean by reframing? I'm going to explain it to you in a very, very simple way using this picture in a frame. And so I want you to imagine that the picture itself represents an event in your life. Now, it doesn't have to be an event. It could be absolutely anything, any concept. But the word event kind of broadly covers a lot of things. So I want you to picture that this is an event in your life that has happened, and the frame around the picture represents your perception of that event, or the meaning you ascribe to the event, or the story you told yourself about that event. Now, if that story you told yourself about the event leaves you in a negative feeling state, and your goal is to get to a better feeling state, a more positive feeling state, then you want to reframe that event by basically putting the event in a new frame. And that means seeing the event in a new light, ascribing a new meaning to the event, or telling yourself a new story about the event. I'll give you an example. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you're driving down the highway on your way to work, and a car suddenly cuts in front of you. And your initial reaction is like, oh my God, this person is drunk at 8 a.m. in the morning. How dare they, endanger the lives of others? And you go chasing after them, cussing and screaming, and you're in this negative space. Now, a good idea would be to, as soon as possible, start reframing that event. So unless you want your day to kind of like spiral in that direction, we all know what happens when you get out of bed and stub your toe on something, and then you spill the coffee and things just start to spiral out of control. So reframing would be, for example, asking yourself, is there another reason why they may have cut in front of me? I mean, how do I know that they're drunk? Or how do I know that they texting instead of focusing on the road? Could it be that this is a soon-to-be father who's rushing his pregnant wife to the hospital to give birth? Or a mother rushing her son to the emergency room because he cut his finger during breakfast? So giving a new meaning to that event, would it help you have more empathy in the situation? Would it help you calm down? Would it give you a different perspective? Would it make you feel differently? Because the feeling here is what is the most important thing. Like, how do things make you feel? And usually what we ascribe, the meanings we ascribe to events, lead to the feelings that we have about those events. So you can reframe literally any and everything in your life. I'm going to try and give you a couple more examples. One example is when I was in my teenage years, I used to get a lot of acne, and that would make me feel like really uncomfortable about myself, self-conscious, things like that. And then one day I said, like every time I got a new zit, instead of seeing it as like, oh, that's horrible, or like I look ugly or something like that, I would see it as a beauty spot, something that would enhance the way that I looked. And just that simple perspective put me into a different feeling state, and I was therefore able to walk around more confidently. And actually the or the pimple didn't bother me as much, and it actually made me feel beautiful. Sounds weird, but it's true. And I noticed that it would just heal a lot quicker, you know. I wasn't like bothering with it too much. Another example is, during COVID, during the lockdown, during the pandemic, where a lot of people were working from home. And for me, that's like heaven. It was like the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It's like working from home 5 days a week. I'm very much an introvert, and that was amazing. But then when they started calling us back to work, and our department had to go back 5 days a week, almost like pretty quickly compared to the rest of the organization. Other people were still like straddling in, coming in at like 1 or 2 days a week, and then 2 to 4 days a week. We were there, like we had to be there 5 days a week, and I really struggled with that. I was really fighting against that and being really difficult at work, and I went into depression, but there was just no ways that I could get out of it. And I realized that I have to change my mind about this. I have to like come to a certain acceptance of the situation, and I had to reframe that for myself. And I started looking at the benefits of going into the office versus staying at home. So I would be like, okay, well, it feels good to get up every morning and get dressed and go somewhere and have a purpose, like go somewhere. Because sitting at home, honestly, like I could sit in my PJs the whole day, and and then maybe only get done later in the day, which ends up feeling not so good. Or maybe I wouldn't leave my house the whole day, and into the next day, like it could go on for days where I don't leave my house, I don't get sunshine, and I end up feeling really crappy. I started a new routine where I woke up before the crack of dawn and started going to the gym, and that was good for me, like in many ways, for my body, for discipline, just mentally. There were so many benefits to that. Also, maintaining friendships at work and the camaraderie with colleagues. There were just so many benefits. At first it was like kind of tricking my brain, but after that it was more, I really started seeing the benefits, and now I would not want to go back to working at home 5 days a week. There's just no ways. It doesn't feel good to me anymore. It feels good to get out of the house. Now, yes, I would prefer a more hybrid schedule, but luckily I do have some flexibility at work, not as much as I want, but I think it's a good thing. So yeah, I was able to reframe that for myself and really just change the way I see things and feel better, and that's attracted a whole lot of good experiences. I would say one could even reframe past traumatic experiences. Now, I don't want to invalidate anyone's past traumatic experience, because those experiences are real and they do leave a long-lasting and impactful, or they have a great impact on us. And maybe the way we perceived it is true. The story you told yourself about it is true. I'm not saying that it's not true, but once you've processed, and this could take years, this could take a long time or not, it just depends on, it's an individual thing. Once you've processed those past experiences and integrated them and understood them and healed from it, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe reframe some of those experiences, or to find the gifts in what they've brought to your life. Now, that sounds ridiculous if you think about it. Gift, like what gift could a past traumatic experience bring me? Especially if we're talking about things like abuse or death, grief, things like that. But there are certain gifts that those experiences bring us, such as resilience, courage, strength, the ability to stand up for ourselves, to find our voices. So there are many good things that come out of bad experiences. And often our past experiences shape our present reality. And so if bad experiences shape our reality our present reality in a bad way, rewriting those stories, reframing those stories could help reshape our lives in a more positive way. So that's something to think about. So yeah, I think reframing is a really powerful tool that is often overlooked, and you can really reframe your life to the next level. And if you found this video to be helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if there's someone that you know that could benefit from this video, please do share it with them. Subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.